Hello again everyone, and welcome back to another mod for another perennial classic, this time Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Many games in the Need for Speed series have mods that expand and enhance gameplay, ranging from changing opponent parameters to adjusting game settings as a whole. One such example of these mods is Extra Options, which exists for several NFS titles, and which you're likely already familiar with. But in this video, we'll cover a mod for the first Hot Pursuit title on PC. It's quite similar to Extra Options in essence, and is called the Limits Unlocker. With this mod, you'll have many ways to diversify races in the third NFS title, both regular races and with police pursuits. And there are even enhancements for online play, assuming you have someone to play this classic from '98, of course. Want to try this mod out for yourself? Well, stick around toward the end of the video, and you'll see how to install and run the game with this mod. One of the first functions you'll notice in the menu is the ability to change car physics during jumps. In normal gameplay, after your car leaves the ground, you lose control of its landing, and your speed decreases. Here, you can disable the airborne slowdown effect, or, if you want, you can even enable in-air control of your car. Though, in my opinion, it feels like someone tries to apply an on-ground kind of car behavior, which can make your vehicle act a little bit weird. This is especially noticeable on some of the ramps, like in the Atlantica track. Try for yourself, and you'll probably know what I mean. In online play, including Need for Speed High Stakes on PC, some players prefer disabling the airborne slowdown effect. Here's some more options which might catch your interest. You can select a track, similar to the regular game menu, but with one difference. See, after Empire City, you can choose a slot for a non-existent track. This track has no name, and its background image is identical to the bonus locations from the PlayStation version. If you try to enter into track information menu, the game will crash because the required files are missing. Whoops. You can run a track on this slot if you copy and correctly rename files in the tracks folder, as well as audio files in the audio folder. However, do keep in mind, there will be various bugs. These include AI issues, traffic glitches, and the game crashing when police activate their sirens. Kind of annoying if you try to get into Hot Pursuit, no? This slot may have been intended for a cut alternative version of Empire City. Also, a mod for the very first track from the second Need for Speed was used for this video. You can also set the number of laps, up to 100, though I'm not sure if you can actually finish this without many bugs, so try it at your own mileage. There is also an option to enable cheats without entering them by hand. Additionally, the mod includes a separate option in the menu for the bullhorn cheat, which the police will use to yell at you to stop your car through a megaphone.
This is the police.
And with the mod, you can use it by yourself.
Police!
The feature works by default on the J key, and the game no longer crashes when more than one racer is present.
Stop your car!
Additionally, under Instant Tricks, you can enable a 100% wheel turn with instant throttle and brake response. This works on a keyboard, gamepad, or steering wheel. In NFS 3 and 4 on PC, this grants an additional advantage in races due to car physics, like turning wheels in opposite directions at the start. And for those who like to do some speedrunning, this is even valid for certain record attempts. Some food for thought. The general mods section first offers additional camera angles during races, which is mostly taken from replays. If you like to take beauty shots, this could be useful for creating screenshots or videos, like in the Quality Car Mods video featured on this channel. A second option lets players choose any car, including police vehicles, outside pursuits, or the knockout game mode truck. Normally, eliminated players in an online knockout or split-screen mode event are forced to drive the truck. If you select a police car for a regular race, it behaves like a normal car. The siren is just replaced with a standard horn. As the name suggests, the random color selection changes your car's color and that of the opponent's. Though, keep in mind, your car color shade will still depend on your menu color choice. The random starting position shuffles your place from first to last. The Tickets Numbers option lets you see how many tickets you can receive before being arrested. There's now an option to request backup from other police units, similar to the next NFS game. You can assign keys for calling roadblocks, additional spike strips, or reinforcements via the mod's settings file. The logic for police backup comes from existing AI, so do keep in mind that you may have to wait for your AI colleagues to stumble toward your location. If they're able to help, the dispatch will notify you. In order for this feature to work, you will need at least 2 AI cops in the race. The screen will also show displays about the information for the police team. The non-race cars option lets you choose traffic cars without using cheats and assign them to each AI bot individually. You can disable traffic car sounds and revert them to original vehicle game sounds. Note that the cockpit view stays from your base car chosen in the menu. Additionally, there's also a bug where, after selecting certain Jeeps or trucks, some vehicle wheels will sink into the ground. This is because the car height still depends on the chosen car model from the main menu. For instance, if you select the knockout truck, the model might float in the air instead, and its color defaults to black since, well, there are no other color options. Random color feature still will work in this case, however. The AI instructions section's main feature is a custom opponents list. Here you can have more than 7 racers at the start, up to 11 in total if it's not a hot pursuit. You can set each opponent's car and assign them to their best persona, which means this is how their driver behaves during the race, each with having a unique name. You can choose police cars too. You can even configure traffic car properties and even set each traffic vehicle individually. Or if you want to have more than one opponent during pursuit races, you can now, with up to 6 racers, 8 police cars, and 15 traffic vehicles, all together in a single event. The car physics type option lets you enable behavior similar to that of the PlayStation version, though in my view it's not quite the same thing. Mainly this is because handling becomes noticeably easier, especially if you're using keyboard controls. Even more so if instant tricks is enabled. Other aspects like drifting or jump behavior, however, do remain unchanged. Collision Recovery Plus makes it easier to push opponents, police, or traffic, though do keep in mind it doesn't affect how opponents impact your car on collisions. The Chase Mode option causes racers to slow down when near you. This mimics a cheat from NFS 2. This option activates after you touch any racer, then they'll try to stay on the same level with you. If you stop, they'll stop, sometimes with reset attempts. If they fall behind, they don't really make an effort to catch up. The driving assist does the same as the regular menu option. Pressing the End key during a race shows detailed info about each car slot and opponent. The mod window itself displays lots of data, including the current music segment on the track. Remember that Hot Pursuit uses interactive music during races, a personal absolute favorite feature of mine. So, you want to play with others, and you want to figure out how to install it. First things first, if you want to play online with this mod, and others also happen to have it installed, then as the server host, you'll have a few more options, which automatically apply to other players. As an example, this allows for disabling collisions between cars. Now for a bit about online play. When you're creating a new server, you choose the connection type. These are peer-to-peer or client server. If you have the modern patch installed, you can also select the server port. In the following Need for Speed title on PC, that being High Stakes, you can choose how player positions update, by either input device or have it be position-based. Before High Stakes, online play depended entirely on controller input data. It's called controller mode. The higher the ping, the more the game would slow down for everyone. The creator of the Limits Unlocker discovered that a partially functional positional updates mode actually exists in Hot Pursuit and can be enabled. The mod author also fixed a noticeable bug in this mode where players could teleport randomly across the map. Unfortunately, it seems the developers didn't finish the server mode in time for the game's release. For this positional updates mode to work for other players, they simply need the mod installed. Launching via the mod's separate exe file isn't necessary. However, if you want to run Hot Pursuit mode, you must select controller mode, otherwise, according to the mod's creator, the game will crash when somebody receives a ticket. Punishment for the driver, and punishment for you. Before I begin explaining mod installation, I strongly recommend installing Modern Patch, which itself fixes many bugs and adds various features mentioned in the previous Hot Pursuit video, so check that out. To install Limits Unlocker, simply extract it to the Game folder. For proper mod menu display over the main game, set DG Voodoo as the video driver in the NFS3.ini file. Next, as described in the mod's guide, go to the drivers /DG Voodoo folder, launch the driver configuration, and set the options as shown on screen. In the scripts folder, you'll find some mod settings, mainly additional keys for requesting police backup in pursuits. To launch the game with the mod, run the separate exe file named after the mod. During gameplay, you can open the mod menu with the home key. If the mod menu doesn't display for any reason, switch the game to windowed mode using Alt-Enter. That's all for now. These new mods like Modern Patch and Limits Unlocker do make this timeless 1998 classic just that little bit more interesting. It's hard to think that you can improve on greatness, but the community always seems to find a way, and it's always exciting to share it with you guys. And a huge thanks to all involved. Another thanks to fans who dedicate their time to exploring the game's code. Your timeless work in preserving these games is great enough, but to make these enhancements and, frankly, huge quality of life changes to these games cannot be understated, and I thank all of you. All links, of course, are available in the video description, and I hope you folks at home won't have any major issues installing and configuring it for your races. You can also find people to play with in the Retro Racing Point Discord community, which also covers all the classic Need for Speed titles. See you all next time, and take care.